My wife went on a girls' trip didn't belong. I was in the living room, half listening to the crackle of cartoons, when my youngest daughter tugged at my shirt. Her voice was thin, uncertain. "Daddy, my sister just fell asleep, and there's a weird smell in the kitchen." My stomach locked. I moved before I even answered her. The air grew heavier with every step. When I reached the kitchen, I froze. The gas valve, wide open. The faint hiss of death filling the air. And there, by the electric fireplace, the timer ticked quietly, seconds away from igniting. A trap. My wife's trap. I didn't think. I grabbed both girls, one on each arm, dragging them through the back door into the cold night. I barely cleared the threshold before the world behind me erupted. Glass shattering, fire swallowing walls, the house splitting open like a burning mouth. The home we built, gone in seconds. But I wasn't staring at the flames. I was staring at the truth. This wasn't an accident. It was a plan. Her plan. And I had just survived my own execution. My wife had left that morning. A girls' trip, she said. 3 days away. Laughter with friends, a break from motherhood. I had kissed her cheek, smiled for the children, pretended I wasn't hollowing inside. Because the cracks had been forming for months. Strange late-night messages. The way she kept her phone face down. Sudden showers after long drives. The detachment in her eyes when she touched me. I had ignored it. Told myself marriages go through phases. But deep down, I knew. Infidelity isn't loud. It whispers. It shows itself in fragments. Perfume that isn't hers. Silence where warmth used to be. A look in her eyes that no longer belongs to you. And now, watching the fire devour the walls, I understood the shape of her betrayal. It wasn't just another man. It was freedom. From me, from the children, from everything tying her down. She hadn't left us behind. She had tried to erase us. The thought calcified inside me. Love doesn't turn into hate, not overnight. It corrodes, rots quietly, and then it plans. She wanted me gone. So I would give her what she wanted, just not in the way she imagined. I didn't call her, not yet. I let her think the fire had finished the job. While the house smoldered, I booked a hotel under another name. I tucked my daughters in with whispered reassurances I didn't feel, then sat in the dark with a cold phone in my hand. Her phone records were locked, but mine weren't, and she had been careless. Calls at odd hours, numbers unsaved, repeating patterns. I traced them, slow and deliberate. One number stood out, frequent, consistent. I dialed. A man's voice answered, half asleep. He said her name before I spoke. My pulse steadied, not quickened. Piece by piece, the puzzle tightened. I scrolled through bank statements, receipts, little trails she hadn't erased. Hotel rooms on days she'd claimed she was with friends. Charges at restaurants I'd never visited with her. A picture began to form. She wasn't clumsy. She was confident, overconfident. She thought I'd never look, that I was blind, too bound by devotion to question her movements. But fire has a way of burning illusions. I sent DNA swabs of our daughters to a private lab the next morning. Calm, methodical. The act of a man already half dead, already hollowed out, simply tying off loose ends. For a week I lived in silence, a ghost beside my girls, waiting. The results arrived in a plain envelope. My hands didn't shake when I opened it. One daughter, mine. The other, not. When she returned, she walked into a world she didn't recognize. The charred skeleton of the house, the neighbors' whispers, the children clinging to me instead of her. She cried on cue, shock painted across her face. I said nothing. That night, in the sterile quiet of the hotel room, I placed the envelope on the table between us. "What's this?" she asked. Her hands trembled before she even touched it. She knew. Instinctively, she knew. I didn't answer. I watched. She opened it, read it, and her face collapsed. "No, no, you don't understand!" Her words spelled, frantic, disordered. She reached for me, for pity, for forgiveness. I sat still, silent, cold. Her world was unraveling in front of her, and I felt nothing. The next morning I drove her to her lover's house. She didn't realize where we were going until the street came into view. She whispered my name like a plea. I didn't respond. I parked in front of the house and handed her the envelope. "Give it to him," I said. Her eyes widened, horror dawning in them. "Please don't!" But I was already helping the girls out of the car, guiding them gently to the sidewalk. The door opened. The man appeared, confused, then cautious. She stood frozen, caught between two lives that had just collided. I didn't need to speak. My silence was the weapon. I watched her crumble under the weight of her lies. Caught in the open, no escape left. Her lover's face twisted as he read the report, betrayal dripping from his expression. She reached for him. He recoiled. And there, in the cold morning air, she finally understood. She had lost everything. I walked away with my daughters. Her voice chased us, broken, desperate, calling my name, calling theirs. But it didn't reach me. She wasn't my wife anymore. She wasn't even a stranger. Strangers at least carry the possibility of trust. She was nothing. The children clung to me, small hands anchoring me to the only truth I still believed in. Behind me, her cries cracked into silence. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The fire hadn't destroyed me. It had burned her world to ash. And I was done breathing smoke. She tried to erase us, but in the end, she erased herself.